Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Ben Morales, your personal financial coach. And in today's video, we're going to be talking about how to prepare to use your debt tool. So if you follow this channel, you know that one of the things that I help my clients with is more quickly and efficiently pay off debt using what's called a debt tool and implementing the Velocity banking strategy. So in today's video, we're just going to give some bullet points on how exactly this preparation will help you to be the most successful when you're ready to start doing the Velocity banking. So let's talk about what those steps are. But before we do, if you need help getting the step process, one of the things I encourage you is check out my other video that I did a couple of months back ago. Is that video is titled "You Don't Have a Money Problem, You Have a Cash Flow Problem." So it's not a money problem; it's a cash flow problem. And in that video, I share some highlights exactly what you should be looking out for to find the leaks in your personal economy and get some additional cash flow back into your pocket so that you will have more success when you start to implement your debt payoff strategy. So let's talk about the steps now. Number one is you need to make a list of all of your debts, right? So that sounds like it's common sense, but as I work with my clients and we start to put the process into place for them, oftentimes they forget about a debt, or oftentimes they forgot that, or they thought they had a debt paid off. A lot of times debts are coming out automatic and you totally forget about that. So that's why that previous video that I talked about will actually help you to find where your money is going, because sometimes you have auto pay and you forget about that stuff. So in this particular scenario, why we want to do that part of listing your debt is because we want to see the potential, or how much more cash flow can we find when we're listing our debt, so that we know how to strategize and how much is going to help us to speed up the process of paying your debt off. So in this particular client's case, we can see that as we listed out all of his debt, the mortgage, the car loan, the personal loan, the credit card, is not a lot of debt that he has, thankfully, but look at what is at risk right now. Right now, his cash flow, because all these payments are going and being applied as expenses, and so his cash flow is only $639.35. However, by starting to utilize this debt tool that we're preparing for, we're going to be able to free up an additional $621.80 potentially by now moving that particular debt and putting it into the debt tool of our choice. So that is important because that's going to help us to be the most successful. And before that, we want to be able to do step number two, which is review your credit report. As I mentioned, we had the list of his debt down, and then he remembered he had another debt, and that partly is due to credit report review. So here, what I did is I highlighted some places maybe you know or you don't know about it, but you can get free access to your credit report. You can check out Credit Karma, and I know some people like it, some people don't. It's not 100% accurate, but at least it gives you a good indication, maybe 10 to 15 points off of where your current credit score is right now. Not only that, through Credit Karma, you're able to do disputes directly with the bureaus. They'll help you to get the process rectified. So that's something is important, because as you prepare for your debt tool, if your credit score is not where it needs to be able to get that debt tool, then there's going to be steps that you have to take in advance to get you to the right credit score to be able to have success when you're doing the strategy. Now, you could also get a free credit report with your score at all the TransUnion, at all the credit bureaus, TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian. Typically, they will offer you some kind of subscription. It's free. I actually leverage TransUnion, and I actually leverage Experian as well. And every month I can go in there and I can get a free credit score from those two bureaus. But you could also use your bank. So if you have a credit card, typically a lot of banks now, if you sign up for their mobile app, you'll be able to go into the mobile app, look for the feature that gives you a free credit score. That way you have a good indication of where your credit score is right now and what steps you need to take to be able to improve it, if any. Right, moving right along is now we come to the point where you want to select your debt tool. So there's four that I usually talk about. Now, if you're a business owner, you can leverage a business line of credit in many cases. And if you are not a business owner, but you have a home, you could still leverage a home equity line of credit. All you have to do is be a homeowner to be able to do that. But in some cases, you don't have a business, and if you don't have a home, then you're going to be stuck with doing one of the other two, which is a personal line of credit or a credit card. So again, this is why it's so important to find out what your credit score is and review your credit report, because again, I want you to have the most success as possible when you start this strategy. Now, once you've selected your tool, what you're going to do is you're going to consolidate, you're going to move as much of your debt as possible into that tool. So consolidating, what it does again is you take all your debt right here. If we look back here, we can see that his debt is being paid off at multiple different places. Well, consolidating the debt is going to change from having to make, in this case, 3 extra payments, and he's going to be able to make payments into one particular position or one particular place in that debt tool. But implementing the velocity banking strategy, we actually are going to be using our income as payments, which means throughout the course of the 30 days, as income is flowing in, multiple payments are being made into that debt tool, and the effect of that is more quickly and efficiently paying off debt. Now, that requires you to do the last step, which is change how you pay your bills. Once you have your debt tool of choice, then you will be positioning all the funds that you have in your checking account, just sitting there doing nothing, and you're going to position it into that debt tool. As the month goes by, you will then take the funds out that you need to make payments for bills, for groceries, for going out, for whatever it is, for paying this kid's school, for paying the rent or even the mortgage. You can take that right back out of that particular debt tool and apply it to that particular payment. And that is indeed how the velocity banking strategy speeds up the process of you paying off and eliminating your debt more quickly and efficiently. So hopefully this video helps. If you need a little bit more of an understanding of how you change your bills or how you change and paying your bills, there's another video that I made. It's actually called How to Use a Line of Credit Like a Checking Account. Check out that video and it'll help you there as well. Now, in the next video, I'm actually going to show how we actually helped this client implement the strategy and the time that it took for him to more quickly and efficiently pay off his debt. So stay tuned for that video. Thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for continuing to support this channel. I definitely appreciate you. May you take care. May God bless.